To their respective seats. We want to start off with the elders. Okay, the elders, this table here is the assigned table for the elders. So if you can need a relocator, we appreciate that. The elders want you to come right here. That's where it is written reserved. For the elders, it's right there. We are about to usher in the first female president of the Grand Union Association. Allow my mouth. Martha Adolphine Cannon, with her long-time buddy, friend, Annie Payne Dennis, former 2 times president of New England, is now as the national chairlady of the Grand Union Association. Let's go, DJ. I will make my idiot. I will make my idiot. Respect is also due to what we do. We just saw the outgoing president is already here. In the interest of goodness, Mr. President, please join them, please. We want to bring those. Please join them. Let's go, let's go. DJ, let's go, let's go.
Okay, well, folks, we want to apologize for that break-in transmission earlier when we came on. Sometimes that's the technical work. But we managed to be back here. We want to welcome all of you. Hopefully, I'm audible here. Let me double-check my microphone. Everything looks good. We want to apologize for that break-in. Sometimes there's the technical breakout. Sometimes it is occurred, and so we always have to have extra things here. But that you see there was the inaugural ceremony of the now current president of the Boston District Association that was held in Philadelphia. And this is it's a sort of a awareness. That's the first female Thai president. But I'm about to indict somebody here Thai this evening here. All along when I started my first phase, everything went well. Yamo kafinao. Sensei. Let me bring him here. Let me put him on the spot. Towa Chialo. Are you hearing me?
No, then what are you doing there?
Bonsialo. Bason district there, I got one. I'm buying this some bullet tawing. I'm buying you. We buy go sabule tawing yo. In Jigala, then you'll be on a clean in Jigala decree change. that's ya whoop na nyompo wo nje jai ba wo nje kan se Russia o.
They are my bloody.
Abria won son sare me fura nyon we la ese da o bon si an lo.
They are my bloody where now.
Okay.
Plia warm la. Sorry, moins pliwe. Yon moins quali. You see? They are bloody where in what kera and buy drawer. In get Natano ke a point a drawer when see a group bar pointed in when you drop me on a sion.
Oh. So
Natano la assign a drawer. Gidazo, I want get them about they will they are doing that.
So nke cry conca mono po brutal gwe go.
I'm glad I see there. Upon that draw in unkela in wide way. Where there's a noon there and one quite Sandro hello. Drop me and weapon clay in bars. I draw as I drop word. No.
Ah, to be you, I'm blaming you. None there. In portrait, be can.
It could be no, they don't, they are muya. As what will be, we are ye take. I geese anyway. As was anyway, we are there chosen.
Boss young low. Boss young then say I go. Inke cry conca as started na to sound na bla we all giant lower wins gear quite a 19.
And what there.
Kai follow on welcome and you can say,
you want conquer. You want conquer. They are now where you go now. No, what okay, came one near draw, yeah, you go now. No, I won't draw. Well, we cannot go on. We are poor begging, we quickly. Just guy drawing instead and blood out, and to that week, we're drawing with one we are saying. Upon your way. Girazu ye wuru.
Awo, bon si alo, na to wa ki alo.
Nah.
Kon kan ki na to ki asare na everywhere.
Kongaro mwesma, bon si alo.
Kai foro
Aywa. Ama aywa. Bage.
Andile no so.
Ama aywa. Instead of what trees what be brown, I yeah. Or male started well. But I did or that boy, I clean up Pina and Blair quiet and mine quiet when you don't cowboy yet.
Oh, so on boy on the na.
I don't say
On boy on the na. Poor ready ni o ji be ni o po ken ni o ken ken mo nu de. Bon si an lo. Nya won lo ke o. O ready o ke a nu we la si yo de yo. Na we. O lo ndi nu wa po nu ndi we son ke bru yan ya. No we e.
Bon si an ko ga lo. Ama Rhode Island, Boston District. They were concrete, no concrete, Rhode Island, Blue Island, no concrete. What do bad way, what poor blue, and you ma concrete. Sonsia Cloud, what Mula there, what I be brother, among bad way, what I taga. Why they pavements on there, they were concrete on there, they want bad way, go on bed, one more bad way, one more Philadelphia. That's your one bed, what thou conquer.
Oh, na okay, on room. You don't get what we went and blue lights or you or dinya ko kenyu na here ko ono boss gwalo ke osin dia ni agri go
thou conquer already 3 years Nigeria na wo 3 conquer no
chwa jira chira o nyugo chwa jira chira o e apolo ti we ojo ono osian ro ologben so. Okay. Let's get to the
business. My goodness.
Samson to welcome. But
thank you.
Okay, let's get to the main thing here. Folks, sometimes we have to do it. We are excited. Boston District will be hosting Thai convention. And I think the beauty of modern technology is being heavily utilized here by the Boston District Association, with that of LPR, which of course you are a true son of Boston District. I am, and all of us more or less owners of this network, which is a great plus here. But let's take into perspective, and a lot of these organizations make cancellations of the convention. But yeah, Boston District we'll be having a virtual convention right here. Itself, that is a plus, and it's meant to keep the membership in place.
Yes. I think the leadership from the board to the president's administration, they're very far-sighted to see if LIBERIA Public Radio Services can be used to virtually bring people together and still be able to have the feeling of a convention. Because these type of conventions, usually they're very useful to the organization. But this is most of the time, these conventions allow us as people to get together as brothers and sisters and have conversation. Because most of the time, Mr. So, we work throughout the year. And so if you have one weekend or 2, 3, 4 days that we'll get together to have fun but in the process of having fun, some serious discussion to happen. You just see the Boston District Administration, the association, they're now almost finishing the high school in Yaoundé. Okay. So this is something, it's not something all fun. Boston people collect money, trust their leadership, give the money, and then the leadership goes and carry out some project. So I think in this vein, this is one of the reasons why when the president asked, I thought with you being our leader, accepting it, I thought was wonderful. So I think we'll be the first. And once again, Boston District was the first to do the internet radio business that in the LIBERIA diaspora, to be honest with you. And now we're going to be the first to have a convention on a virtual level. That's very interesting, and that's telling as well.
Yeah, let me welcome my own friend and brother. These are people that that got Boston District to be where we are, and our own brothers and sisters from other different organizations. The vice president, who happens to be this year at convention here, Mrs. Reeves, is here, and this is part of the public awareness that we are having. Johnson said we are going to protect our progressive to. Oh my, what kind of business they? Where did one come from? I can let you not see what I'm talking about. They come. So have you built a coalition around me? Something?
But I have no control. The progressive, they're all over.
Wow.
First, we're going to take the White House. We're going to take the Senate. We already have the representative. Then we'll go to LIBERIA and we'll knock all of your sedition out. We will be in control. The progressive.
Mr. Johnson or Mr. Gokanu, please send me your number. Don't hang out with the wrong man. This guy here, don't send me your number. I will be a good body for you. This guy, he's not a right man for you.
Yeah, the man will not come to the leave progressive and go to conservative. Let me explain to you. Perhaps you never listen to me all these time. Liberal, we approach things from a broad perspective. You're conservative. You say you call the liberal. You say, oh, y'all do this. Or as soon as you do it when you get on top, when you claim, then you pull a ladder up. You don't want anybody else to be to where you are. So why you think that people will follow your idea?
You told me you put a ladder on me tonight. So you're flipping the table around?
Well, tonight's situation was a little bit different. The liberal progressive have to get out of the shell a little bit and then go back into the tradition. Remember, when my wood guy now. Is that no?
All right. Well, Mr. Johnson said no way. Okay. Oh, there's right.
Thank you.
Tonight is a bad night. Vice President also no way. Oh, Sensi, and as a one, I'm not going to I'm on way to go, Bobo. Okay. So yes, let's get down to serious business, folks. Who want to welcome you sometimes, Michael, very Clark, one of our leaders in the community, I would say welcome. Of course, Mr. ZM Port, based in Minnesota. So when I was president, he was the chapter coordinator. All of these folks here. So let's just play the board around. And I know maybe Wednesday we're going to have a special promote conversation here with the administration or the organizing committee. Before we get to other national issues that are currently trending here, what do you make of this virtual convention? We've been making preparation. Last night you want to be very late. We upgraded the system to give you a clear, good vision, good picture of everything here. And I think that's a good and wise idea by the administration to have this convention. I don't think no other organization have done that.
No, and I think Boston District will be the first, and hopefully, we will be blessed. Boston District will come on top, and people will learn from us and learn from Boston District Association how to, because we don't know when the disease is going to go away. But that should not stop us, Boston people that is under the leadership of Mr. J.J. Dennis, will not stop the people from organizing. And so they thought that we use this process. I think it's a wonderful idea that we will be able to do these things to move the district to the next level. And I think it's a wonderful idea. We can make it. And what Boston people, what we can do, anything we can do.
The bad news, you're not guest speaker this time around, you know that? So
that's okay.
This year you're not guest speaker. Are you aware of that?
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'm getting younger anyway, so I will prefer the younger people to do these kinds of stuff. Okay, so I'm not bitter. I'm here to support my leadership. I'm here to support my district, to make sure the district, because I care for the district, especially the educational process that they're trying to put in place. This high school here is very dear to me as well. So I hope that we will be successful. This time around, there's no time to say you're guest speaker, you're not guest speaker. It doesn't matter. We're here to help.
All right. Yeah, and I think that's a good point here. We just have to poke a little bit stuff into A here. But I think it was a good idea. And when I got this here, I said, go for guys, we got to go for it because like you rightfully said, and my man, Pat Johnson, yes, he said he behind you all the way from Texas. What are you doing with it, man? Yeah, he even know who he hanging out with. But the bottom line here is we don't know, like you rightfully said, we don't know when this whole virus thing going to come to a conclusion or when local authorities or even the federal to say, okay, you can move ahead. But I think this convention is meant to keep the organization, to keep the membership in place, be it good or bad times. And I remember even my chapter and even the Philadelphia chapter, I don't know about the other chapter, there was some sort of a distribution to their elders. So that was a very good thing. By the
yes,
chapter and the administration, there was a distribution, little that they have, which is a good thing because when people invest into the organization, at some point in time, there must be a return. There must be appreciation. And few elders and people that I talked to, they were very much gracious on the part of these chapter leaders and the administration to have come up with that idea.
Mr. So, the history of Boston District goes way back. Not only do we sing, good singer, but we also have good hearts. And so with J.J. Dennis, you see, this is what I keep saying about you, most of you young people. You have connection. You know where you're coming from. You know your history. And so it's not that difficult when you get in the leadership position to be able to assist because this is who we are. That's our culture. So on the leadership of Mr. J.J. Dennis, people doing things to help other people, especially in time of need, I'm not surprised because that's what we do. And so to have young people to carry that kind of process ahead, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. And I'm very happy that Mr. Dennis and his people continue to do that. The vice president, under the leadership of Mr. Dennis, of course, they're all working together to make sure that this district organization continue to move forward. And at this time, I don't see under this administration, I don't see how we're going to turn around. This association is moving forward. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have.
I'm not sure what is going on here, but hopefully maybe Mr. Port will tell us ZM Port, because 2009, remember 2009, we were in Minnesota when Mr. ZM Port served as a Boston District Second Convention was held in Minnesota, and it was a successful convention that I can tell you. We had a lot of good deliberations. The convention was well attended, everything was in place. But I'm not sure what is going on with the chapter right now. You know, time has taken out, but hopefully, with his DM Paul being there as a former leader of the chapter, they will do everything possible. I'm not sure whether this coming convention, but I'm quite sure that Minnesota, you know, we have a good number of people there, so I'm quite sure they are also on board. I'm hearing, I think, about 6 chapters, either 6 chapters, but we're going to get all of the details from the organizers. Hopefully here in a special promo and things that we're going to be doing. Because understanding people, the chapters will be in a small numbers in observance of health protocols, local, states, and federal, and we're going to bring them on live here Saturday. That would be a fun.
Yes, yes. The 2009 convention in Minnesota was a wonderful time. In fact, we also have one of Liberian luminaries, Madame Pisa Tai, was member of that convention, planning convention committee, and she was heavily involved. But I'm not too sure what is happening with that chapter either. But I know one thing I do know for sure. That we, Grangians and specifically Boston District, we all work together. So I'm sure the leadership on Mr. J.J. Denny will find reason, find me, that everyone come on board, because what we're discussing and what we're doing is not anything that is being isolated. So I think that everyone has a reason to be in it, and they will be involved.
Okay, this is a tips coming in from the organizer, and who happens to be the vice president, Madam Reese, yet giving a tweet here on our Facebook. Few here said this here virtual conventions guest speaker is one of our own big brother, who has also served in vital positions of the organization. Also, his name will be disclosed on Wednesday. These people, that's a complete political, setup right there now, coming from the vice president to capture the imagination and attentions of folks who will be wondering, who's this person here? Who's the person going to be speaking? But just from that tweet, it is a clear evidence that somebody within who has also devoted time to the growth of this organization. I think that's a very good decision.
Well, yes, I've been one of those that have over the years been.
That you, I told you already. So don't go to bed and say that you that need. We're going to be disclosed. That not you. Let's just keep.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
That's okay. I don't need to be a guest speaker anymore. Anyhow, but the point that I was making is that it is very interesting and viable, so to speak, to have someone who have knowledge. Who is very knowledgeable about the organization to be a guest speaker. Because for me, as a guest speaker, you are not only there to motivate the organization, its members, but you must also do so with information, inside information. You have the information because you're part of the organization. And you can also use that as platform to give some recommendation, things that will be helpful to the organization and its survival, and whatever it is that the organization is trying to do. Now, if you are outside guest speaker, you tend to do a lot of research because you don't know what is happening with this organization, or you have to do research to know who they are and what they are, so that at least your conversation would be able to tailor towards the organization program. But if you are a member of this organization, you know the inside and outside. So you, as a guest speaker, you don't even have to go with the papers. You can speak from the heart, just off the cuff, and continue talking, because everything that you will be talking, you know exactly what you're talking about, and they're going to be in line with the administration or the association line train of thought. In other words, they know what they want. And you being part of that organization, you have been involved in a lot of deliberation, so you know exactly what the organization is looking for. So by you being a guest speaker, it's just a matter of trying to use that opportunity to motivate more and I think bringing somebody who is also a member or past member or past leadership or something like that is very good, and I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a very good decision, and I hope other organizations will follow suit to emulate what the Bison District Association is doing. You want to keep in touch with your base. That's very crucial. That's very, very much important. There are so many ways. You don't even have to do it with LPRO. There are so many outlets, other platforms that can do that. But it's just a sort of a concern that in good and bad times, you will be in touch with your people, because we just don't know how this thing going to end. And beyond that, we can say because the virus is ongoing, so the activities or the functionalities of the association should come to a complete cease or should come to a complete halt. I think that's wrong. You know, it's good to do it because that will be very memorable, because when things quiet down, members will take a deep breath. They will reflect, oh, even though during the virus, our leadership, our administration, they were able to call us together, making use of the quality and the beauty of modern technology. This also just DNC. They didn't say because of a virus. They put something into place, and people, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. It might not be on that sort of huge scales, but believe me, we're going to have all of the chapters, non-chapters. They're going to be here. Saturday evening, we're going to capture their image wherever they are. We're doing everything possible to get their stuff here. And my understanding, we will make our own usual convention contributions. I learned the Cash App is being established, observing health protocols, so that I can go to the bank, you can go to the bank, or you can take your phone and just bam, 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 and give your contributions. That's awesome.
And I think this time around, it will be very interesting because we're not going to be paying airline ticket, hotels, and other places, car rental, none of that kind of stuff. Most of our activity is going to be done mostly from home. So I think the administration is sticking with the usual convention fee, but I will also encourage Basilian, the fact that they're not going to be paying that much money to go places this time around. Maybe they can dig a little bit deeper into their pocket and come up with something that is suitable, so to speak. Even though the convention fee usually is $50, but the fact that we're not going to be paying hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in terms of paying for hotel, car rental, airline ticket, all that kinds of good stuff. Since we're not going to do that, perhaps we can use this opportunity to increase the revenue of the association. However, that particular type of information to encourage the folks to do that, the administration must come out and make a case. Make a case. Why you think Samson should not pay more than $50? Let them come out and make the case. But I think it'll be a good idea. However, I don't want to step ahead of the administration. I think they will come out and make a case to their brothers and sisters to see reason to raise their contribution this time around.
Let her carry your own baby. So the Liberal Progressive is coming out of the share. We will not be traveling. It means cost will be on the minimum scale, which is a good thing. Both of us going to help to facilitate to coordinate this with the organizing committee here. So you're going to go deeper?
I could, but I must have a reason. I must have a reason. I can't just get up because I think, okay, we're not going anywhere. No, they're going to make the case. This is selling themselves, selling their ideas. We believe in them. We know what they're capable of doing, but they must continue to enlighten the organization. What is it? Why do they want us to raise the fee?
Why you want to? So, what specifically, for example, you think you want to hear in order to give this attention here? Let me get my hand webs here, something I can see. But go ahead. I will try to find it located.
Yeah. But for example, I would like to see the administration to come out and say, okay, and explain to us what I just stated. Like this year around, people are not paying a lot of money to go to the convention. So we're going to ask you, our brothers and sisters, to increase the fee. Okay. It's not something to say a specific amount. Okay, but we know the specific, which is $50. But they can come out to say, You yourself, you know the importance of the association. We want you to do more. However, why do you want me to do more? What are some of the things that you intend to do which require more money? You're going to have to lay it out. You're going to have to lay it out. You can't wait until convention time. And when we're doing these things on the virtual convention, then you say, oh, by the way, y'all got to pay this. No, if you think you need extra, more than the $50 for individual, you're going to have to make your case now and make it effectively.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. And I'm quite sure the organizer, they will be able to explain that as well to all of us and those that are going to be following here. And I mean, like I said, I'm in support of it because we have to keep the organization running. That's part of what is going. And the members are on they should be informed by their leaders in good and bad times. And I think the administration taking this here is quite it's quite amazing. And I hope the preparation is being made. No matter how it goes, which of course I'm confident it's going to be done well. I mean, everybody have their devices, computer, phones. All we have to do just get something to you, and we can keep. Can you imagine? We have group in Philadelphia, group in Iowa, in my own New England. Who are you? You alone down there? You and your family? Will you come?
What's wrong with that?
You're gonna.
We're trying to promote Boston District. Now you're gonna bring up issues that have nothing to do with whatever it is the discussion is. So what make it all the time when we used to travel for Boston District, you wanna ask me a question before, or that today you already asked me a question. I've been paying thousands and thousands of dollars to Boston District. You
decided to go to Hollywood. So I'm just asking a simple question, my dear friend.
Yeah, but the question I see you're trying to put me in check right now, and that's not right. You can't throw me aside. I'm Boston District citizen. So what do you mean if I'm alone here?
No, you're not alone. You're there with your wife, your children, you and Guillaume and all of those people here. So yeah, they're gonna join you.
So what's your point? What's your point? I can't be on TV too. Because that's exactly. Kind of line your question you're asking. First thing you said, we're gonna have Rhode Island, we're gonna have Philadelphia, we're gonna have all the other chapters. And you come to me, but we're not. You alone. What difference does it make if I alone? I can't be on TV.
You're already on TV.
Okay.
No, I'm just wondering, maybe there are other nearby family folks there. You're going to do that. Yeah. But no, on a serious note here, let's see here. On Wednesday, when the committee members and I appears on your show, that's what we will be doing. Basically, selling the conventions and giving good reasons in our appeals. I've not seen the vice president to be so forceful like this. This one here now is
yes. I'm surprised her involvement tonight is taking me by surprise. But I like that. This is what I expect. That's good.
When you get to the man here, leave that man alone. He's just trying to pull. Oh, that you leave me alone. I'm trying to pull your leg. The men are Donald Trump. You can't tell, he can't let anything go. So by the time you something that you read, don't mind him, Mr. Johnson, Mr. G for that matter. That's my guy. That's own big brother. Okay, so yeah, I'm excited. There was a meeting last night on our chapter level, so you can say why they wouldn't call you. Now that you are not member, you're not member of my chapter again, so you can raise issue with me. New England chapter of the Boston District Association. There was a meeting last night. Believe me, folks are going to be meeting in Rhode Island. Folks are going to be meeting in Massachusetts, Worcester for specifically, and New Hampshire, where one of the board members, he lives in New Hampshire. But I learned that he's going to be coming down. But I think it's going to be a good thing because when we flash New Hampshire, when we flash Philadelphia, and we flash Iowa, will flash Minnesota. Oh, let me call Sacramento. We'll flash Sacramento.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah. No, quite Todi chapter.
Or what? Total chapter?
Todi chapter.
Todi
District.
Todi chapter. All right. So, we're waiting to get most of the details, most of the information that are going to be coming from the administration. That is, and I agree that they will be here on Wednesday, and we're going to have all of this conversation to make sure that everything goes well. I don't know how many speakers. Do you have an idea how many speakers? We hope to. Let's just pull the list here. But the vice president has been very careful. Does not want to let the cat out of the bed. Does not want to jump back. So everything is being in kind of like
when we're talking about administrative procedure, the vice president, I think she's well focused. I mean, she actually understands administrative policy. She's doing her job, trying to enlighten the people. In the meantime, trying to keep the other issues not secret, but the fact that the administration have not made a decision to be announced, she respects that. This is what I'm talking about. An educated woman. Mr. So, you're quiet.
Oh my goodness. The woman ready to start now. Let's take it easy. We're having a beautiful time right now. Let us not get on our summer. Okay, the other third or fourth tweet, there will be a general meeting tomorrow as well. So our understanding, there will be a general meeting. I believe that includes the entire membership of the organization. And I'm quite sure they're going to send that in the chat, in the group chat room. And hopefully we'll get more details of to give members insight of how the conventions are going to be like, or information that we need. And hopefully, probably we can get that. What do you think? The cash app number that will be assigned for members to pay their convention dues or whatever contribution that they have. So, I mean, people
and this is
ahead of time.
Then this is what I'm saying when I made a statement earlier that the administration need to come out and make their case. In making case, you also come out to give information in terms of cash out and what have you. So those type of information, hopefully, in fact, I will hope that they LPR will be invited to carry this is nothing secret, to carry their meeting tomorrow and be able to tell people what is happening and because those are things that they need to do to make the announcement. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, oh man, he let a fine job. So what they invite you to come do what? People are going to have what you want to get, what you want to make a meeting public for. We having good comfort.
We're here.
Hold on.
Ourselves. We're not here to promote any other people. We say Boston district.
Yeah, but the meeting is within. So why you want to go? Why you want to carry public?
I'm saying maybe if they invite us, we can.
We having a good conversation now. You are trying to pollute and dilute this whole conversation.
Oh, here we go. The folks, it's starting. I knew I couldn't come on this man's show to have a peaceful conversation. I knew sooner or later we're going to diverge to something else, but I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to rush myself. Go ahead, make a point.
Oh, Martina working here today. Vice President, great news. Why are these people siding with you tonight? I don't understand. Why you have Mr. Johnson on the other end from Ware, Texas. He doesn't know you from no Maryland, from nowhere on planet Earth. Only the name attached liberal now. He seems to be buying into you. What's going on?
Mr. So, this is what's happening. In fact, I most likely, since you're the boss of LPR, I'm going to ask you now publicly, if you mind, if I contact the administration to take my show to the Boston District meeting tomorrow night. And if they agree, I will have the president live, and then majority of the meeting will be on the phone. So because there's nothing secret.
Consecutive is trying to control. Wow. What? Are you serious? I can't believe what is happening tonight here.
It seemed like you meet your match. The liberal progressive have not given in, and people respect that, and they're ready for you tonight. Bring it on. You're not you alone tonight.
Oh
yeah. Joyce is not here to help you, so you can be careful tonight. Because the liberal progressive, they're all over.
Okay, yeah. But anyway, Battleland, I think all of us on the same page to make sure that it works. You know, just give me a tiny little bit here. I'm trying to respond to something.
Oh my goodness. He's sending texts out to people of all the conservative to come and help. That is not gonna happen. You do that already.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, is there we're going to be pivoting to other national conversation here, details of the Bison District Association. I want to welcome our own man, Mr. Yinant, a long-time human rights advocate. I'm not sure whether he's in a good position. If so, buddy, just send me an inbox and we're going to, because we're going to talk some critical issues on the national front. Is there anything specific you want to talk about before we switch on the bigger scene?
No, I just want on a very serious note, Mr. So, the leadership of Boston District, I know they're very serious, and I ask all Basilians to please let us put together and take this this upcoming convention, even though it's on reversion, but let us think that it's there with their life, because the interest here is for all of us. We're trying to move this district to the next level. So one of the best things you do when you have leadership that are willing to work, you know, to say, just help us, to motivate us, we will work for you. Then what more you want to ask? So I think we all need to put our hands around our brothers and sisters, around Mr. J.J. Denner and his administration and the board, to make sure that they do the right thing for all of us. And I will be playing a serious part. Serious involvement is going to be there. So we'll make sure that this thing is successful. I mean, Mr. Cry, who is the technical brain of LPR, he's been on this thing for quite a while now. He's been making a lot of preparation. So I think he will be ready. Mr. Mazzola Gizi is going to be ready. Mr. Alan Jarrow is going to be ready. All LPR forces is going to be ready. Under your leadership, of course, we will continue to do what we have to do to improve the lives of our brothers and sisters.
Okay, happening now. Okay, I'm Afonso Zian. So here with the liberal progressive Samson Brown taught in Sacramento studio of the Liberia Public Radio. I'm right here at the New England Bureau. So let's get to some national conversation. And I know you're going to flip up now. This night going to be one of your best nights right here with me here. But there's nothing guaranteed whether it's going to last to the end of this program here, because something going to happen. This is what we received today from our national correspondent based in the provincial city of Zouadou, Grand Jida County. We are now getting on the national scenes with the politics. I'm going to be getting your reaction after that and some of the other things that are making headline in Liberia. Stay tuned. I will be right back.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you. I'm asked to introduce human worship here.
Okay, let me show you this here. I'm sure you a good guy, happy guy this evening. Let's see this here. This is the guy. He is contesting for the senatorial race for Grand Jide County, Republic of Liberia. Those images and videos and picture that you are seeing on the screen now, courtesy of our national correspondent, Abu Tori. Do you know that gentleman?
Yes, a very good friend of mine.
He looks like William Yano.
Yes, a very good friend or brother.
Yeah, you have made a public declaration here. You are supporting him. That was his arrival ceremony today in Grand Jide, who is a contestant. What do you make of that?
Well, first thing I want to say is thank God for his arrival, safe arrival. I also want to take the opportunity here tonight to say to all the brothers and sisters that are here in the diaspora that continue to support this idea of having Mr. Yano to be part of the Senate operation in Liberia. I want to thank all of you, and even those that are not quite involved, those that are not even involved. I still want to thank you guys. We ask you to join us to make sure this young man get this position. Having said that, Mr. So I think Mr. Yano involvement in this is a very interesting thing as far as I'm concerned. I know Yano. I've been knowing Yano for almost 10, 15, 18 years or so. And he and I have been serving, I've been serving on his administration. When he has Lena, we were there trying to put constitution together for Liberians to have a clear understanding of Liberian constitution. We also try to do voter registry, voter education process. So he's somebody who always wants people to understand what is going on in their organization, in their community, and everything else. So he's what you would call community organizer, but on a higher level. He's an intelligent person. He's an engineer. Worked so many years as an engineer. Now he's seeking to be senator for Grand Jide County. And so it's going to be a very interesting dynamic, and we're hoping to be on ground to see if we can push our own line, 1 or 2 line, whatever we have. But I hope that people of Grand Jide will gravitate toward his candidacy and try to elect him, because the interesting thing here that I want to point out here on a very serious note is this. Mr. Yano, if we're successful to having elected, it will be very interesting for Grand Jide diaspora, because there are many young Grand Jide diaspora that are well trained, have already educated themselves in public policy, in anything that have, some of them working for the municipal organization, like the city, the state, even the federal government, working in area to help people move certain things forward. And these people are trained. These young Grand Jideans are trained. Now, the problem we have is that in the past, and I hope this will break the back, where young Grand Jide want to seek these offices, but when they get the first thing, the people that are there, they already amass so much wealth. And so they try to say, well, the person just coming here because of the job. You know, the person left from here, they start giving you all kinds of bad news. So now with us here in the diaspora, putting together to support William Yano, and if he's successful, we will be looked at as a serious contender. In fact, Mr. Yano, consider us, Grand Jide diaspora, as being the 4th district of Grand Jide County. So if we're being considered the 4th district of Grand Jide County, then we must do something that will make sure people understand, our brothers and sisters back home will understand that, yeah, indeed, we are the 4th district of Grand Jide County in the diaspora. However, our interest should not be something to put our brothers and sisters down. Our interest must be the one that will make sure to help improve the lives of our brothers and sisters. And I tell you this before I be quiet. Some time ago, Mr. Yano and I, we had a conversation, and one of the reasons why he and I get along, because I think we think a little bit alike, okay, which is scary for somebody to think the same thing too. But anyway, on a very serious, one of the things that he said to me, and I also, this is what I've always been my dream, is to make Grand Jide County the envy of the entire county's population in Liberia. Make Grand Jide County so that everything people want, they will come to Grand Jide. We have the power to do that. We have the manpower. We have the training. We're able. We're Grand Jidians. We're able to do that. Only thing the Grand Jidians all over looking for is true leadership. And if you have that leadership, people will be willing to contribute to improve the lives of our brothers and sisters. I give you an example. Grand Jide Association, Honorable Thomas Collins, the young ladies of Grand Jide Association in the diaspora, they came up with an idea to have what they call a women's center. It was an institution they was going to build. A designer, of course, but they were going to build it. The institution has this much issue, or not issue, but much of a help they want to give. They're going to have daycare in it. They're going to have school for young girls. Basically, they were targeting the young Grandidians lady that's been left behind. And so if you have people already thinking like that at that particular level, and you have a 4th district having a representative in Grand Jide respecting us as a 4th district, then I think everything else will be fine for us.
Okay, as you know, and hopefully we can have an agreement on the one here. I just wanted to get your take here, Mr. To. The politics today in Liberia is quite different. For the little time I got to know, he's such a guy with principle, very consistent in doing his things, administratively minded in getting his thing done. But today, politics in Liberia is kind of sort of a little bit different. People ration money to sway votes, and all of that. I'm not sure you close to him. In fact, you came on this network here and announced publicly as an anger of a major news outlet, and you say you're supporting, you're a Liberty Party man. I don't know which party he's for, whether he's an independent or whether you're going to drag into Liberty Party. So we yet to know. Perhaps we can get to know that. But basically, the politics of today, is that something that you think he can cope with? Because people looking for immediate results, or they're looking for immediate handout, and all part of that is all of the situation that is unfolding, in the country. Do you think Mr. Bill Nyano will subscribe himself to those sort of ways of getting things done, that sort of Liberian way to conducting politics?
Well, Mr. So, thanks for bringing that up. What you just expressed has also been my concern. Mr. Nyano, as you know, he has a high standard, and that has always been issues when he first suggested this is what he wants to do. It was one of my concerns. However, before I go to that, let me just give you an example. About 6-7 years or so ago, Liberty Party leadership met over there in Las Vegas with Councillor Bronsky, Councillor Kofa, Flanty Kofa, even the chairman, Hezekiah, everybody was over there in Las Vegas having a leadership meeting. So when we had the meeting at that time, one of the suggestions coming from Kofa was that, and he was very serious, was that if Ellen was then the president at the time, if they go in the gutter, because we Liberty Party believe that this party must be different. We shouldn't be doing things that are not democratic in terms of election. So Flanty Kofa suggested if these people are going to go in the gutter, we'll go in the gutter with them. If these people want to play dead again, we'll play dead again with them. And after Flanty Kofa, Councillor Kofa was done with his statement, Nyano stood up and said, I don't agree. Because if we say we're going to do things different, and then you want to say if they go in the gutter, we should go in the gutter with them, I don't think that would be fair for us, because some of us don't believe in that kinds of thing. What Mr. Nyano believes in is not just to educate, but to teach you how to fish so you can fish for yourself tomorrow. So when he came up with this issue of being involved, one of the conversations that I have, and I'm not the only person, many of us that know Nyano being a straight shooter and having a high standard when it comes to politics was a concern. Because in Liberia, you can't play those kinds of standard game and think that you're going to be on top. So the question was, and I asked him, Mr. Nyano, how are you going to play this here? Because you don't like any most of the thing that is happening. And he told me plainly, said, Samson, I'm going to get in this, but I will be myself. And if Grand Gideon see that being myself, if it's not enough for them, that's their choice. But I'm not going to turn myself around to be something that I'm not, because my character have already been set. The character, God has already formed my character. And I'm not about ready to change the character because I want a specific position. However, I will continue to tell my brothers and sisters the truth. For example, he says, if I get to Grand Jury, I say, I want to do this, want to be a senator. And they say, okay, to be a senator, you got to give up $15 million. I don't have that. Even if I do, what's the point of me buying vote? If I know what I'm bringing on the table is going to benefit you and your generation to come, why should I buy vote? So he asked me a simple question. He said, now you're an engineer. Will you want to go pay for a position in Liberia because you want a position? I said, no. He said, then what make you think that I'm going to go pay for anything? I will be myself, be truthful, and tell them what I'm bringing on the table. And so that was the conversation. The difficult thing, and I'm hoping that my brothers and sisters are changing. The difficult thing was, at the time, the young people in Grand Jury, and I think you heard the reporter here stating that at one time, no job. So they're saying, we don't trust the politician because every time they come here, we'll do this, we'll do after the election, we don't even see them anymore. So Mr. Nyano is telling them, fine, that's in the past. This is me. I'm here now. I'm going to help. And these are my records. And this is what Mr. Nyano will always tell you. Every one of those people that are in this race, they all have records. And you can make reference to these records. So it's easy. So, Mr. Nyano, I've already covered that part, Mr. So it was a difficult time for me because I don't see a Bill who was a straight shooter as somebody who is so straight in terms of behavior and attitude to be now mixed with Liberian politics. But he told us that he can make it. And I think he's doing a wonderful, wonderful job.
All right. Well, we are just here to have the conversation. Again, our sincere apologies. There was a lot of technical issue this evening that we got interrupted 2 times. But part of our commitment, we can't just, today is designated for a specific program. And so that's why we always have a standby machine just in case there's a default in one. We must be able to do it because we are on an obligation to also keep you involved. Generally here, tomorrow I will be playing I want to play a video here to get a take, and I hope I'm going to have time with Mr. Yinon at some point in time to have this conversation. Interesting video from one of CPP's expiring for Bond County. I try to reach out to him. He has not returned my call. Extend an invitation here, but I will play this video somehow, and we are going to listen to A, and I want to get a reaction, and then we're going to talk about A a little bit here. I'm Afonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Stay tuned. Let's see here. Let's get this video here.
People are saying that you are using this as a campaign message, just for a campaign message to achieve your aim. Because 2014, you were with the now Vice President Joao Taylor when she was contesting to seek re-election, and the Vice President, the former senator, used a voice believed to be Charles Taylor's voice, asking the people of Bond County to elect his wife. And that this could be the same path that you are using.
I don't delve in gossip and cheap political propaganda. I'm not going to address that. Joel Howard
But
Taylor,
did he?
allow me
You
to complete my thought. Joel Howard Taylor, Her Excellency Joel Howard Taylor, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, two-term senator of Bong County, got re-elected because she deserved re-election.
So would you agree with me that there was an audio that I played on Radio Banga, an audio telling the people of Bong County to support the wealth of the former Liberian president, and it was believed to be from Charles Taylor, and you were in the camp of Joel there?
Listen, my young man, I do not track audios. There are many audios played on many radio stations. Nobody can doubt the political prowess of Joel Howard Taylor in Bong County. She is the undisputed political leader of the county. That she got re-elected was no surprise. What I want to focus on here is a serious national debate. The people of Bong County, if you took the microphone and went around, they believe in Charles Taylor. Chiefs have been telling me that they are not being treated with respect. How can a deputy speaker call for program and have chiefs ride motorbike to come there? Why our chiefs are not dignified? They are not giving them, they don't even have a car. NGO workers, low-level NGO workers have cars and motorbikes. The chiefs, the people who call Paramount Chief, how can we, say we respect our people and Paramount Chiefs? So the chiefs have been telling me very quietly that we want that banner back.
Also,
yes, the chiefs have been telling me.
Who are the chiefs now?
I'm not going to put anybody's name out there, but I am a political leader. I visit with people, I speak with them, I've been consulting my people broadly. They say this is what we want. And
is this a view of the Council of Patrons, or is
no? The Council of Patrons is not running in Bong County. I am the one.
Okay, that's the first segment, the Liberal Progressive. Let's go to the other.
Welcome to Front Page Africa. I'm privileged to be in the company of Mr. Menipake Dumwe. His campaign for the Bong Senate race has been characterized by his quest to free former President Charles Taylor, who is detained in Great Britain. And how is he going to do that? He's here with me. Welcome to Front Page Africa, Menipake.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm seeing your flyer with the photo of former Liberian President Charles Taylor, and you appeared on a local radio station in Bong County. You promised that you would free Mr. Taylor when elected Senator of Bong County. How do you intend to do that?
By first of all, setting out a written plea to the special court, the UN-backed special court for Sierra Leone, to the Sierra Leonean government. I intend to direct my efforts at the Sierra Leonean people and explain to them that, listen, in this Mano River Union, in this West African region, we've had a lot of problems in the past. But the best way forward is forgiveness and reconciliation. Liberia have not sought reparation from any of the countries that allowed rebels to attack our country. Liberia has not sought the imprisonment of people from other countries that played roles in our civil crisis. You have a very popular nationalist figure that is sitting in a European jail because of crimes. It's alleged that he was convicted of in the International Criminal Court. I'm not going to touch the legal argument, but I'm saying Charles Taylor has served over 10 years, over a decade, I think close to 17 years in prison. We can say this is enough. Let's, for the sake of reconciling the Liberian people and the Mano River Union, bringing Liberians and Sierra Leoneans together in a firm way, let's release him so that this appeal has never been made.
What is the possibility of this?
First of all, you have to test it. Things are changing. Today, Laurent Gbagbo is free in Ivory Coast. He's free. He's a free man. He can return to Ivory Coast. Okay. A lot of things are changing. The global international politics is shifting. Those who were in charge when Charles Taylor was arrested, prosecuted, and locked up also had their own way of thinking. There are new people who are in power now in America and in Britain. They may have a new way of looking at the world. So in a context where Laurent Gbagbo.
Okay, Let's see this one here. It's another advocate.
We can't lie to men. The men ain't drive from us. They got it from Ghana is good. Then they'll be playing on us. Look at the people that are leading COP. The men ain't drive from Ghana. Why you want the men to play on you? Am I saying? So we should be too smart for them, and not just worse. They are worse. They are these. Look on the street. What do you hear them say? We coming for. We have to step down. But now the pressure is on them that they're changing their tune because they know that it's tracing us. Oh, yeah, watching. I'll be eating my tobacco and be monitoring them on Facebook.
Okay. The liberal progressive. All right. This is quite interesting. This is quite fascinating. And I'm not here to make an indictment here, but I'm as a critical person here. And this is what I really wanted to tap into the expertise of Mr. Yino, who is a longtime human rights advocate. That is Manipaket Des Moines, the first video. Manipaket Des Moines is the candidate or is the guy expiring for the CPP ticket in the vote Richland of our own friend and brother, Mr. Amos George. I tried to process this here to figure out here what's going on, what is happening here. Or is it a sort of a strategic move on his part to play within the inner cycle or in the inner part of Bone County politics? Because let's bear in mind, this is just a senatorial strictly for Bone County. So I'm not sure whether he's acting like our man Donald Trump, speaking to the base of what the people want, the people intend or what they want to hear in Bone County. But I am not here to track audio. This is what the chiefs are telling me. They ride motorbike. They do not have cars. You know, this is unacceptable, but without disclosing anything. Is this what his campaign should focus on, or is he on the wrong path? Now, bear in mind, the journalist asked him, but I thought he would push further, but he did not make it. He didn't go. He didn't push. He didn't, push into to get something out of him. That's what I'm eager to get him. And he was making a specific reference to the audio that has connection with Taylor. Is that a good strategy on his part now? Should he be worrying if he's elected, if the people of Bone County elect him to fight for the release of Taylor, or should he focus what he's going to do to produce, to bring something tangible to Bone County? Well, which direction is he going here?
Well, Mr. So I think being someone who is from Bone County, perhaps speculation on my part, to be honest, perhaps he have done a study, voter study, and find out what the voters are looking for. What are some of the things they would like to see? So perhaps they have made some recommendation to him, and he's trying to run on that. So perhaps those type of view might be popular in Bone County. Let us also remember what we have Prince Johnson, who is now a senator for Nima County. In fact, he considers himself kingmaker. So these things are not far-fetched. Now, Mr. Des Moines, who is seen, and from what all indications, a very intelligent young man, he's also playing identity politics. Now, I'm not too sure because I don't know the entire makeup of Bone County like I do with Grand Gillette. So I'm not too sure what part of the section that particular identity politics will be accepted in Bone County. I'm not too sure if once that happens, that he will be able to then try to convince the people that, okay, this is what I am. But he's not being honest, to be frank with you. He's a very intellectual person, but politically he's not being honest. Because in order for him to do what he's suggesting, let's just take, for example, the call for the chiefs. Even if he's elected as senator, he does not have a power within him as an individual senator, unless he uses salary to buy car on the part of the Liberian government to give chiefs car. One thing. Second thing, he also told us that he's not running as a member of CPP, so we knocked that out. Okay. The third thing I want to point out here, he also stated when it comes to child stealer, the issue of child stealer being released, like I said, it's for me, it seems to be an identity politics, because like it or not, there are people in Bond County who adore child stealer, who love child stealer. So perhaps those are the people that he trying to convince for them to come to his aid. But what he's not telling them is that he alone do not have the power to get child stealer out. Child stealer crime is no longer alleged. He's been convicted and he's serving time. So when he's been convicted in the court of law, no more alleged crime. Those crime has been put in a book as crime committed. Now, he also stated that he's going to go and make a plea to the international court to see reason to release child stealer. On what basis? Is a child stealer has been somehow rehabilitated already? Does he have record to show that because of the stay in the jail, child stealer is no longer have the mindset for which they put in jail? So those are things that Mr. Demoy have to look into. He also stated that he's going to go to Sierra Leone and ask the people of Sierra Leone to forgive child stealer. So if he's using words like alleged, child stealer crime being alleged, why would you want people to forgive him if those are an alleged crime? Unless you're saying that he has already committed those crimes. Now, they think on all of these fronts, this young man explained identity politics, which is not going to be successful. And he has to do more than that. Than just say, I'm going to do this, and this is what I'm going to do in terms of child stealer. He's not just somebody from Bond County. He used to be president of the Republic of Liberia. So child stealer coming back to Liberia. He's not bringing child stealer to say straight to his own village in Bond County. Child stealer is going to come to Liberia as Liberian ready to receive him. Those are the kinds of engagement he's going to have to start. He can't just say, I want to be senator, therefore child stealer, I will bring child. First of all, if you're going to bring child stealer back, Liberia must be involved in order for you to get your blessing. You can't just say, I'm going to go talk to people and get child stealer back.
I hope to put a number. Oh, yeah, let's have a little engagement here. And this is what I like about the folks here that always think ahead of the game. Mr. Chris Gay, Mr. Gay is saying he can't free child stealer because it is not Liberia that sent Taylor to jail, or that's the established fight also. But here is the interesting thing. I'm a free thinker, open-minded thinker here, and this is sometimes when I say that the opposition itself and the government, they consistently continue to fire in their leg. This is the guy who created a huge political drama quite recently, a few months ago, right? Who tweeted, who said they're going to use guns. They're going to buy guns. They can buy guns. And you remember that whole scenario that took
AK-47.
AK-47, right? This is a scene Money Pocket Des Moines. And folks of the CPP, okay, I'm getting the call here already. Let's keep them. Let's see here. Let's keep our guy. Hello, caller, are you there? Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, good evening. So what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Christian Gay and I'm calling from Arizona.
Oh, Chris Gay, you said?
Yeah, Chris Gay.
Okay, all right, Mr. Gay, thank you. I was just going through your tweet. Okay, have you had a chance to listen to the video of Mr. Monipake Des Moines?
Yeah, I've been following the Monipake Des Moines and this is I think, yes, before even the show, and I think that I am bringing up that I will have to do.
Okay.
Monipake Des Moines, not understanding what is going on with child stealer. That's why it's not understanding, And this is the issue with everything that bro, especially what they work. And that's the same thing manufactured to make. So the chancellor doesn't go to the case because they just want to grab and get into the case. Chancellor commit a crime. And like Mr. Samson too said, he are reaching the point where they have passed the law already to execute it. And the law that they passed in the court, they signed documents. So they don't even the manufacturer to make a great accident. That's just a joke. Because the document was already signed or read that Chancellor is going to spend 50 years in jail. The only thing manufacturers to make it to say, oh, they'll reduce it yet, but it's already been signed that people who already agree that look, this man is going for 50 years in jail, and this is the amount of years he's going to spend for lifetime, but people will be free. So that I think it's not that ordinary thing that they don't want to put a document there. So it's like the people saying that he's trying to preach, because when you look at Chancellor issue, let me say for sure, Mr. Thompson is right. Some country is one of the things that Chancellor would be well praised, because when the war was fighting, we all know we got base, all them called Patara base, and then we all know about that. So there are a couple of things that were going on there. Maybe the foreign country people feel that Chancellor was ready and and helping on, maybe it could be a lot of people that were there in the one time, or was struggling, no one knows. So that's what it's not Chancellor. But Mr. Stone said that it's not about one country, it's about Liberia. Yeah, it's the same time. I mean, it's the same country in Liberia.
So, Mr. Gay, quickly here, do you see that strategy as their strategy?
I mean, I don't know where he did that. I just strategy from. I don't know why he think that way, because that, like I say again, people using the famous of Chancellor. Maybe we are talking this too. We don't know, because there are a lot of our parents in the street during in Morocco are even chanting that Chancellor should come back. Okay. I mean, they see Chancellor do anything wrong to them.
And
I mean,
yeah, and another piece of puzzle. Okay, make your last comment, then I'll be going to Mr. To here as well. But let me just bring this here, because I try to open my mind to this sort of conversation, to this sort of playbook, this rare meat he's throwing out there. Bear in mind, Taylor headquarters was in Banga, Bon County. So is it sort of a conspiracy? Okay, this guy's been here, he's been here with us, he's known, he's popular, the people here die high for him, or whatever way he's thinking. I'm not in his mind to give that sort of thought process yet. But is that why he's looking out? Because at the end of the day, this whole thing will be narrowed down to people of Bon County.
Let me say this to you. Chancellor is also like Queen Johnson in my county. Chancellor is one of the like Queen Johnson in my county. Even though he's the president, but he's like Queen Johnson in my county. A lot of Limanian would say Queen Johnson will not be from here. He's like the hero. When the war was fighting over there, when Chancellor faced there, you realize that most people go there. So when the president is, you realize more things will go there, more activities go on there. So they have proof from, even though we were fighting, but they have proof from. But that's not the case. Chancellor commit crime. People die. People mother die. People father die. So many things happen. They not just get Chancellor that. So they should understand that to bring it back into work. And are we ready now, Liberia, to receive it? As the story is saying, are we ready? Are we Liberia ready to receive the man we are calling Chancellor, because we know who he is? So anything happen tomorrow, how will we be able to watch survive? I think you have to think about Barlow. A couple of people trying to fight to get this great Chancellor back, but we have to have this kind of thing. So yeah, thank you for the show.
Okay, Mr. Gabe. Thank you so much for your contribution. The Liberal Progressive.
Yes.
I'm not hearing you. Check your mic.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Are you hearing me now? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear myself.
Yeah, okay, I got to switch here. Sorry, that's my fault. This time I can't indict you on that, because
indictment is not going to work anyway.
So yeah, it's the deal. This guy, I kind of try to give you a process here. When he talks about buying the AK-47, right? His colleagues or partisans or folks from the CPP came to his defense and said this guy was speaking metaphorically. All right, those were the literary words that they used to attach to give justification, as usual, that the opposition, the government, and everybody, the advocates, all of them use these sort of excuses and kind of like and just think they can play on the minds of the Liberian people. The journalist asking whether his statement was that of a CPP, he said no, but at the same time that he is the leader. So how can we, what is the contrast and how can we draw that? I haven't heard, probably somebody have spoken out to this, about this, his issue about this, his interview, that I don't know, and I don't want to adjudicate him on that. But not even a single condemnation. This is the guy who made a controversial statement about AK-47. And we know, you know, I know, one of the chief architects of introducing AK-47 into the whole problem in Liberia is the former president, Charles Gange Taylor. Is it enough that his opponent can easily tie into this whole thing here? And I don't know how can he be vindicated. Pa George, you want me to come to you or just deal with George and you have the time to respond to it?
Go ahead and bring Pa George in.
Okay. Mr. Amos George.
Yeah.
I had to do this to give identity to my callers and participants. You being an analyst here, but it's quite interesting to see what is going on in your own land, in your own county, Bon County. Let's take a little flashback here. This is the Monipaka Des Moines who talks about AK-47, and there were tons of people that came to a defense that he was using a literal war. It was a metaphor, blah, blah, blah. Now, you know, I know one of the person that introduced or brought the whole AK scenario is Charles Taylor. The man wants to be senator for your county. I'm not hearing this is what I'm going to do. This is the bill I'm going to pull. Instead, I want his later, maybe he fight trip. This is my own interpretation and to be going to Sierra Leone to ask and to write to the RC to plead for the release of Charles Taylor. What the heck is he talking about?
You know, Mr. So, it's good that it's happening now. Maybe he getting money. Maybe he can't be sponsored by Charles Taylor. So I don't know, but I can rule that out. Maybe he can't be sponsored by Charles Taylor. Oh, Monipaka Des Moines. Let me tell him, and he has not seen my face, but I will come on a network so I can show my face. Yeah, that's me. Let me say this. Charles Taylor is not from Bon County. One, he speaks better. He is not from there. Two, Charles Taylor stays in Bon County. What Monica Dumar can point to that Charles Taylor did there that the people of Bon County could have benefiting from. On Charles Taylor, the people, children were raped, women were raped, villages were burned down on this man in Banga. He did nothing. For those who are supporting fine, it is their right. But for Monica Dumar to come here and talking about, he's going to advocate for the release of Charles Taylor. The first thing, he doesn't have no sense. Because the issue here is Charles Taylor was not accused. This man was tried and convicted. If you get that. Now, he's posting about reparation. Charles Taylor was accused by the Sierra Leone government. The atrocity that was committed there. He was a financier of that atrocity that went on in Sierra Leone. And those are the crimes the charge were not for Liberia yet. The children who call Zongos and this and that. Who is responsible for the crime rate that is going in Liberia? It's Charles Taylor. I attribute that to Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor. So for him to come out to make the kind of statement, that is his right to be in support of Charles Taylor. But I want to make this clear to him. That's the debate we will now start having. Since he supports Charles Taylor, that means he supports the action, all the atrocities that were committed in Bon County by Charles Taylor, the men on Charles Taylor. That means Monica Dumar support those people actions.
Okay, then let me just hold you right there, and I'm going to be bringing the liberal progressive here. And this is why some of the things that we always talk about here, and one of the things that we agree with, not this liberal here, when the CPP or COP does it right, you speak against it when it's wrong here. Now, there was a lot of justifications of his word used at the time when he talks about buying AK-47. People came in your defense and kind of remodel and restructure his tone. I haven't seen anybody coming out from the opposition or the CPP hierarchy to say, no, we whatever his award expiring, but we disassociate ourselves with a statement. That has not happened. And I'm not sure what is going to happen. Will that hurt? I'm seeing a tweet here for one Mr. Aaron Zle, and I want to read that and you can respond to it. The Liberian people should be careful with the name patriots. CPP and COP, they adopted these names from the NPP. So people began to think far ahead of the game because reflections and the people began to retrospect the names of these things here in the past history of our country. What's your thought?
Is that Mr. Toe?
No, that you, before I go to Mr. Toe.
Oh, here's the thing here. Exactly. Now, so let me go back a little bit. So it tells me the statement that Montgomery Dumia made the last time, and someone was saying that it was free speech. So it comes to them that it's not free speech, because his support for Chancellor tell me something, that his statement that he made the last time is also not contributing to his support, the admiration he has for Chancellor. So I think it was from that background he made that statement. Now I can come up to say, oh yes, this guy has a link with Chancellor, because for his utterance now, it making me now to wonder, where is he coming from? What is his connection? And with this statement, we now, those from Bon County, we now have to go after this guy. Because if they're afraid of me, I'm not afraid. If they're afraid, I would be the one man with the lone army. This guy is a threat to the people of Bon County. He is a threat.
He will be. So is he? Potentially he's the guy for the CPP. So what does that tell you?
Well, now I'm waiting. How the CPP now going to embrace this statement? I don't want to embrace it, or I don't want to denounce it. That's why I'm waiting for. But let me say something, Mr. Toe, also.
Go ahead quickly.
This man, to the first day or whatever, to do a national interview, he has not put one policy forward. The first thing that came out is Charles Taylor. Is he using it or wants to use it to play on the people, a fear tactics? Because the people know what happened to them on Charles Taylor. Some of them still fear him. When they hear it brings some awkward memory to people. So is it a scare tactic? Because politics is all about putting fear in people. Because he will say, hey, if you don't vote for me, when Charles Taylor come back, this is what will happen to you. You'll see what I will do to you people.
Okay.
So I could get to that point. And secondly, this is a misleading thing. He had already started the line from day one. He talking about chiefs not having car. Look, this is a fallacy. This guy must start playing on the people. He's not even talking about, oh, I could work if I'm elected. I could work with the Senate to see every chief will get a motor, but he's not even talking about he going straight up to car. What kind of world this guy is living in? This is the same old policy they are crafting to come again to deceive the people in Liberia. And I want to admonish the people from Bon County and around the counties. We should be very careful. That's why I always say the young people are crooks, the old people are crooks. So now the people now don't even know who to trust. Okay. Because look at this young man. The first thing what coming out of his mouth now is complete lie and deception.
Okay, let me go to the Liberal. All right, thank you so much. Follow or anything you call back. Okay, the Liberal Progressive.
Yes.
This is quite interesting. This is, you've been listening. This is a tweet coming from Mr. Carver. Guys, let's not pick and choose around here. If it is wrong for Des Moines to advocate for Mr. Taylor because Taylor called people in Liberia and out about those bunch of ex-rebels generals that this regime ain't bear with. Okay. Francis, is that way I say? The man is smart. That is what the local people are saying. The few he married to Bon County woman, and he had fun. That he's not part of CPP because Bon is given to UP, which is part of CPP, and he banned from the Liberty Party. That's your party, Liberty Party. That's your party, which is part of CPP. Little bit indictment is coming to you here this evening here, Block. I think I get Mr. Zeze is on my side here now. And the only way he can run is to go as independent. So he is not running as CPP or COP. Take it away.
Thank you, Mr. So. I like this engagement because this is something that I truly enjoy. This is what I keep saying about you, conservative. In politics, you conservative always want to have a do-over. You don't have no do-over. When this young man made a statement, many of you conservative were saying this is a freedom of speech. Now that he's now trying to connect himself to something else, now he said, well, I'm going to think about it. Maybe this is, you don't have no do-over, conservative. This is a liberal. And I look at things from a broad perspective. Now, let me give it to you. He made a statement and said, no, this is not CPP. What is he getting it from? That's CDC playbook. What's his name? Falcon will come and make some ridiculous statement and say, but I'm not speaking as deputy minister of your deputy minister of information. But when you speak, when it's bad, then it's Falcon own. Then you want to say you distance yourself from the position. It's not happening. Now, this young man, from my own perspective, that is, this young man is very smart. He came and tested the water. And as usual, and it doesn't matter what government that is in power, they never fail. This man did something, and the government honored Dr. Weah decided to put him on the map. He came and make some ridiculous statement, which even if he has the power, he can't back it. Nobody will get him gone to say, go do whatever in Liberia. But they decided to throw him in jail, elevating his position. And we all were chatting all over here about him. We have already elevated him. So now he decided, I'm going to go and test the water to be a senator. That for me is immature, the behavior like that. What I thought perhaps he would have used the opportunity he had, having had his name now being registered in so-called fighters book, what I thought he would have used is to stay cool and advocate more. But your advocacy should be geared toward Bon County. Tailor all of your advocacy towards Bon County because he's young. So you got another 5, 6, 7, 10 years before you can even be an older person. But if you at this young age, now that you have registered in the book of fighters, people recognize you, government throw you in jail, the international community was all over the place for you to be released, your name is in the book. But you don't come out now and say you want to be a senator. And the reason why he's being ridiculous, because there's no form, no plan. He got in it. It's okay. I have to look for something that the people are going to gravitate towards. So what is it? So he perhaps went and did a little investigation, and people are saying, oh, this is a good thing that we will support. Now, playing identity politics, even in a Bon County, it's a dangerous process. Because believe it or not, not everybody in Bon County are in love with child stealer, number one. Second, child stealer crime is no longer alleged. These are already considered to be committed. And that's why he's serving 50 years in jail, according to the whatever they have. Going to Freetown, Sierra Leone, to ask for forgiveness. Are you speaking for child stealer? Are you then saying that, yes, child stealer, they commit these crimes? Who are you going to identify? Which is who in Sierra Leone? Remember, Sierra Leone also had a civil war. Who in Sierra Leone will you identify as being child stealer a victim for who you're going to try to apologize? Who are you going to apologize to? Now, let's come back to Liberia, as I said. Liberians are also part of this process. So if this young man was smart, why he trying to engage his advocacy towards specifically be targeting the folk in Bon County, he will also try to do his own work and try to find out in Liberia, throw it out there and see what people are going to say about releasing child stealer and see how it's going to catch on fire. When you do these things, by the time you're ready for your senatorial position, you will have established a groundwork for which you don't have to come and make a ridiculous statement sitting on a bench and saying you're running a campaign. It does. The young man is smart, very intelligent, highly educated, but I think this part, the process of education escaping a little bit. So I feel bad for him. As far as being a political member of the Liberty Party or whatever, we got so many people who are myself, Liberty Party member. What difference does it make? But if we cannot distance ourselves from people like Eugene Falcon, why you want us to distance ourselves from somebody making ridiculous statements? This is the playbook of CDC, and every young politician like bro, try to follow that.
Something tall. Come on, this is what is this? What are you trying to hook up here? What are you trying to tie in here? And this is where you guys and myself always on the different side of the lane. You're always driving in the wrong direction. This is why you always have tickets, first and foremost, because you're part of those group who always give justification. It was done yesterday, so when we do it now, what is the big deal? Is that where you're going?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So then why? So
saying
Eugene Falcon acted silly. If you do it, he did it the wrong way. This guy should come and repeat?
But people gravitate towards Eugene Falcon.
Why?
So if it is good for Eugene Falcon, for many Liberians to gravitate towards, with him trying to distance himself from his position when he make a ridiculous statement, and sedition, and even Liberian don't come and distance themselves from his statement, why can't this young man do that?
But no, let's get it right here. If this guy, and you're quite correct, and you will also agree with me, both the GOL, the oppositions, the advocate community, ordinary Liberian, you and myself, we all make some crazy and silly statements on a daily basis. But the idea that people to come out to say, yes, this one here, you get it wrong, very suddenly, all that we see happening is for people to give a justification. And you're quite correct. In the context, he seems to prematurely kill whatever thing that he said in the past, which other people look at, it was not okay. And free thinker look at it and say, well, he made a statement, it brings bad memories to us. But now for he to come out publicly, an architect, one of the architects among the many other who is being not just only indicted, like you said, he's already behind bars. It's an international crime for which he's currently serving this number of years in prison now. And contesting to represent the people of Bond County to come with that, I think that is just absurd. It just tells me that these advocates, they are not genuine, they are not authentic, they are just doing it for political purposes.
Well, yes.
Or most of them. So let me not.
I will let you have that. Not quite, but I will let you have it.
You know what I'm talking. Why were you are reluctantly refusing to admit to what I'm saying? Why, when you say you were, I would want you to have that. Does that mean what I'm saying?
Because the statement you're making to say these people perhaps are not genuine. Yeah, but I don't know that for sure. What I do know is this. If you follow Liberian history, government of Liberia and young agitator, they call them Liberians, you always have that. You have in the 70s, a young man who is now serving as a senator, Coming Wisa, was heavily involved, and he was taken to prison. After that, he became well known all over Liberia. This has been something people like Ezekiel Pajibo, they all went through that. This is how young Liberians that want to be involved in the Liberian politics, this is how they think they can get noticed. So Monica Parker didn't do anything different either. People like Jefferson Kochi, they were thrown in jail. Okay, people like what's his name, Koska, were thrown in jail. And the government go after these young people and thinking they will be able to shut them up. You give them the platform after that, and government over and over have not stopped. This young man, when he made that statement, yeah, go ahead. You want to ask a question?
Yeah, I just want to dwell on. Do you think it's a sort of a conspiracy theory now? Okay, and people, and what I've noticed, the politicians in Liberia, advocates, and people love to be in the eyes of the camera. And so one of the best and strategic ways for which cameras can be directed at you in the Liberian politics and things that I've been observing is to make some sort of ridiculous and absurd statement. Now his statement has compelled him, Front Page Africa and other news outlet, like myself, reached out, but that was way even ahead from that stuff. And he agreed later on. He said, "Okay, I'm gonna think about it. I don't know what are you, the liberal, because he part of the Liberty Party group. What are you call him? That I don't know. I don't have no proof to that. I don't want you to worry about that, but I just have to air it out." Yeah, and said, "No, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming here." Is it a strategy to direct the cameras on him to make him relevant, to say, okay, this is the same guy who said this statement X months ago. He's in the political fields and he wants to make his impact felt?
Yeah, Mr. So I think that's what it was. But the problem with him, the way I see it, he didn't have any kind of safety net. He was not prepared to face this. Getting involved into the senatorial position, he will have to take a stand to attract voters. So he thought maybe because he made a ridiculous statement about AK-47 and put him in jail, and a lot of people were all over trying to make sure he get out of jail. People, the international community was going. So he thought, okay, I have to bring subject matter out that people will try to see whether I'm okay or not. Now, if you're going to do something like that, you're doing an investigation. Test the water among the people. So maybe he did. Maybe he did. But the way things are turning against him with this statement, I would strongly believe that he didn't test that. He just decided, well, Charles Taylor used to be here. In fact, if you listen to the audio again, they asked him a question that Charles Taylor did make a video or audio asking people in Bond County to vote for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And the wife won the election. So it's not too fast for him to connect that, to say, Charter, give us audio. People have the wife elected. I want Charter to be free. The same people that have the sentiment to go towards Charter, they're still there. So if I say we're going to free Charter, maybe they will come to me. But what he didn't realize is that that's an identity politics that most likely is not working anymore.
Is it fair to inject Dr. Joel Howard Taylor into this discourse? Other opponents of him will say this is what. And it was quite interesting because the journalists tried to be forceful to go after him, even though he did not persist to get to the battle line. But what I heard the more saying was, oh, there are so many audios out there, he doesn't keep track. I wish it's a normal routine for politicians. They always deflect, they always pivot from question. Do you think this is going to haunt him?
Well, yes. What I suspect with that kind of answer that came out quickly, what I suspect is that he didn't consult the vice president in bringing this man's name up. He didn't consult. Now, another interesting thing that I want to connect this thing here. Quite recently, another ex-wife of Taylor came to Liberia.
Agnes.
And the journalists and the entire population were pretty much gravitating towards him. So this man is not doing, these things are not done in isolation. So when he saw that, he said, oh, okay, maybe if I bring Charles Taylor at a permanent level, perhaps people would see that I have a reason to be a senator in this place. And so maybe.
Okay, we'll soon be wrapping up. Let me go to Mr. George here. Mr. George, are you there? Okay, this seems not to be a done deal with you, right?
We can't hear Mr. George.
Oh, okay. Okay, quickly. Okay, quickly. Yeah, go. Mhm. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. We'll soon be cutting it. Okay, Mr. To.
Yeah, but we were not able to hear Mr. George though.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Huh?
We were not able to hear Mr. George.
You wasn't getting Mr. George?
No.
What are you talking about? Something? I don't
I
think.
tried to bring that to your attention, but you guys are busy.
Well, okay, well, it is what it is. Probably you, the Liberal, trying to do stuff here. But let me just read a comment here so you cover from Adolphus Jr. Oh, Aaron said no. Then what happened? Okay, well, another time. So Adolphus says, so what's the big deal for someone to ask Mr. Taylor to release? We are, and Madam Taylor communicated with Taylor during the 2017 elections, and the Liberian people do not know the merit of their communications. More besides, the Liberians people voted for Taylor's wife to the second higher positions of our land. I think this guy is making a smart move to get the people voting Bon County. Taylor wife has used the same name to campaign in Bon County, and she was elected 2 terms, Senator, almost 13 years. What do you make of that?
Well, it's a statement that worth itself. However, the difference between Madam Taylor and this young man is that Madam Taylor and Dr. Weir were not advocating the release of Charles Taylor. Number one. Second thing is, if this young man saying that releasing Taylor will get him popular, thereby giving him a lot of voters to come his way in Bon County, I don't know. That's up to him and his Bon County people. But what I do want to say, and what I do know, is that most likely, not everybody that lives in Bon County are friend and in favor of Taylor's being released. So that also going to have to take into consideration. As far as him making it into a political campaign, and that's fine. It's up to him. But we also have the responsibility to have these discussions and see whether they make sense or not. But that does not mean he can't go around telling people I'm going to bring Charles Taylor on a motorbike tomorrow from The Hague. That's up to him. However way he wants to do it, that's fine with me. But I'm just saying these are identity politics that are not suitable for Liberian political activities at this time.
Okay.
They'll be playing on. We got a lot of men. The man ain't drive from us. They got it from Ghana is good. They'll be playing on us. Look at the people that are leading COP. The man ain't drive from Ghana. Why you want them to play on you? I must say. So would you be too smart for them? And not just worse. They are worse. They are this.
Okay. This guy, Phoebe Herons, I will be hosting here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be like around 7 something, 6 Liberia's time. He's contesting now for district number 9, the vacant seat as the result of the demise of young blood. May her soul rest in peace. I believe he's within. He's been advocating. I believe he's with one of these opposition parties that is part of CPP. You know, people switching here and there. So I'm not going to put a great lock on here to say this party he belongs to. He's known. He's an advocate. He has been an advocate. We're going to get a little details of that, but he's contesting. So what is going on here? The advocacy business, and is it the end result to be part of the bear wheel, to be on Capitol Hill or to just gain political relevance? Is that the advocates? That's the end results of being the advocates in Liberia?
Well, Mr. So, these young people, you have to sympathize with their position. First thing, there's not many jobs in Liberia, and that perhaps will occupy the space. So most of them with college degree, they know how to talk. They have to apply for, pick a subject matter to advocate for, and then they go and do the advocacy, and then their name get in the mouth and minds of many Liberians. So then they use that opportunity to say, okay, then I'm going to move on to the next step. Before, the young people used to use the jailhouse where the government send them. When they come back out, they say, okay, I'm here now, I've arrived, I have the scarf to show. Now it's no longer going that way. They're saying now I have my platform, I talk every day, 200 people watch me, 300 people watch me. Perhaps that give me a platform, a reason now for me to seek these government offices. And so many of the people are doing that. Now, the interesting thing is, most of them, the voter that they're asking, they're pretty much about the same age group. So they stand a better chance to be successful, because they will be arguing. If they're smart, they will argue for what their peers are looking for, because they know they're part of that group. Okay, so they're not to be condemned, and they're not to be put on the wayside. We have to take them seriously and make sure we engage them and try to pick their mind exactly what it is they want to do. You don't want a bunch of them ending up in the House of Representatives or Senate and not able to perform for 6 or 9 years. So those are kinds of people that you want to challenge very strongly and see what they're going with this. Because most of the voters that they're targeting, they're about the same age group. They're all in the same peer. They're all crowd of boys together. So they will try to speak the same language that these voters speaks. So it's very easy for them. But we just have to press and continue to squeeze them to make sure they give us their real self. That's about the only way we can defend this democracy.
All right, the liberal progressive from California next to Nancy Pelosi. Pretty well, I think we ended on a good note tonight, right?
I don't know where you're going with Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is a speaker of the House of Representatives for the Liberal. The Liberal just have their convention, and they're going to beat the conservative like a drum. You guys got no way. You guys stand no chance. So I just want you to say that as well.
So the question, we end on a good note tonight for the most part, or you just want us to have some little rough edges before we go?
No, I mean, you don't try to do like you're trying to threaten the liberal progressive. You know you can't stand there. You can't be me. You can't able. I'm a bloku, a liberal progressive. You can't make it with me. That's simple as that, Mr. So I just want to thank you for having me. If that's what it is, that's what. But I'm not going to call it a kumbaya on a good note. I'm talking to a conservative. As I'm speaking, I'm trying to hold myself, tie myself in the chair so I don't fly off of the chair because I'm talking to a conservative. So most of the time when I'm speaking to the conservative, I try to be very, very light and ready at any time, because I know you people, how you people respond to issues that have to do with human feelings and how to move the entire society to the next level. You people want to move yourself individually. Then when you get up there, then you say, oh, you can come out here with your own bootstrap. We pull you up there, then you say, I'm going to come with my bootstrap. You take the ladder. That's what you'll do. So if you call it a good note, I accept.
All right, that's the voice of something. I told you, I promised myself not to do the usual firing. Yes, I gotta play nice to you some days when you come here, because it seems I didn't get anyone here. Mr. K, Mr. Johnson, the man from Texas, he jumped behind you, say we are here for the liberal. So it's like you placed. By the time I told you, you start texting where you start looking for EMS people to just in case to be rescued. But Samson told it was nice having you here, and you're going to be on what? Tomorrow is Monday.
Yes, tomorrow I'll be on.
Okay, about 8 p.m., 7:30, 8 p.m.
By 7:30, 8 o'clock we'll be on.
Okay. And we're going to be having this Fubi Henrys, who is contesting for District Number 9 in a special presentation, making sure that we're holding everybody accountable and just hear what is indent, and that's what we're going to be doing. A lot of programs going to be coming here to our followers, both with in and out, whatever you are. We want to thank you so much for sharing your Sunday event with us, with me and the Libra, for being here. And Mr. Johnson, I'm so disappointed. You betrayed the confidence reposing you to take a side with this guy here this evening. I just can't imagine. I can't just imagine how to process it. But I want to say you are the best, and thank you for being part of this conversation. Mr. Toes, thank you so much, and have a pleasant rest of the Sunday.
Thank you, Mr. So. We appreciate it, and good night to all of you as well.
All right. Okay, folks, there you have it. That's how we're going to leave from here this evening. Time has catch up with us. It's 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. I'm Afonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio 10 LPR TV. We want to thank all of our viewers and listeners, or whatever they are, for being part of today's program. Same time, same station, by God's willing. We will be back here again in another edition. For another edition. I want to thank you so much for being here this evening. I will be back here tomorrow's Monday in a special presentation with Mr. Fubi Harris, who is contesting for District number 9 representative, the vacancy due to the demise of Representative Monant Yomblaw Penno. I want to thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you. I'm asked to introduce